called for is for local police departments around the country to behave as ICE agents in sanctuary cities. That is not permissible. Any administration that would look to disrupt the sensibility of public accommodations consider them a threat to our democracy.
Far left Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson vowing to resist Trump's deportation plan, despite the illegal immigration crisis reportedly costing his own taxpayers more than $500 million.
This morning, President-elect Trump.
Okay, so real quick, before we get to the Border Czar guy, because this guy, he's awesome. Now, $574 million, $500 million, Brandon Johnson. Oh my God. Now look, I actually recently moved to Chicago, and they got some real budget issues, and we'll get into that later on too. We'll get into that later, but these guys have some real budget issues. They really need to just accept this help, accept the results of the election, and just let these guys come in, and help them fix this problem. Like $574 million, and you guys got all these budget issues? Like, come on, what are we talking about?
Trump's incoming Border Czar Tom Homan is firing back. He joins us now. Tom, it's so great to have you on. I have so many questions to ask you, but let's start with this. He talked about sanctuary cities. Is the Trump administration, do you have any indication, have you talked to the president, are they going to just remove federal funding from cities and states that say we're just not going to cooperate with the federal government in getting criminal illegals out of the country?
Well, that's part of the plan. We tried that during the last administration, of course, but when President Trump didn't get back in office, that lawsuit filed by DOJ, of course, Joe Biden dropped it day one. But let me talk about what Brandon Johnson just said. No one's asking them to make his officers ICE agents. That's not what we're asking. We're asking to let us in Cook County Jail, the largest jail, one of the largest jails in the country, where back in the day, we arrested hundreds of criminal aliens out of that jail. That's what we're asking for. Give us access to the bad guy, the guy you locked in a jail cell. That's what we want. Because when you don't give us access to the bad guy and the safety and security of a jail where everybody's safe, you force me into the neighborhood. And when I go into the neighborhood, I'm going to find that bad guy. But it puts him at risk, puts my officers at risk, puts the community at risk. And when we find that bad guy, he's probably with others. Others are in the country legally that aren't a priority criminal alien. But guess what? They're going to be arrested too, because we're not walking away from illegal aliens. So your actions are going to give you the results you don't want. More agents in your community and more non-priority aliens being arrested. You forced me in that position, and that's what's going to happen.
By the way,